Hi and welcome to Fun Swedish. Today we're going to talk about helping verbs again, since you couldn't get enough of them. We previously made another video about this topic, focusing on the helping verbs vill, kan and få. You can check it out here. Today we're going to introduce you to some new helping verbs. Behöver, måste, hinner and brukar. And if we get more than 500 likes, we're going to do part 3 with more examples of helping verbs. So, our first helping verb, behöver. Behöver is how we say need in Swedish. A verb you need when you need to talk about your needs. But what exactly is a helping verb?
I don't know.
It's a verb that is used with the main verb in the same sentence. And it kind of helps the main verb to construct a proper sentence. The helping verb usually comes before the main verb. Let's look at an example. Jag behöver köpa kaffe. I need to buy coffee. In this sentence we have two verbs, behöver and köpa. Here, behöver is the helping verb and köpa is the main verb. Köpa is the main verb because it kind of is the topic of the sentence. You need to buy something. However, we still need the helping verb behöver in order to get our message across. A very common mistake is to conjugate or modify both the helping verb and the main verb in the same sentence. But you should never conjugate the main verb together with the helping verb. You should leave it just like it is, in its infinitive form. And the only thing you should change is the helping verb to the tense you want, present or past, for example. Let's look at some sentences with this helping verb. Jag behöver kissa. I need to pee. But what we really say is I need pee. In English, you often write out the infinitive mark to, like in this example, I need to buy food. In Swedish, we skip it almost every time together with the helping verb. So in Swedish, don't write jag behöver att köpa mat, just jag behöver köpa mat. It might sound weird for English speakers, but we actually say I need buy food. Jag behöver köpa mat. Remember that Swedish is a language made of rough Vikings. And if you need to say this verb in the past, then you could either say behövde, needed, or har behövt, have needed. Like in this example. Igår behövde jag sjukskriva mig för jag hade ont i halsen. Yesterday I had to call in sick because I had a sore throat. And maybe your doctor or your Swedish mom tells you this. Du behöver äta och vila för att må bra igen. You need to eat and rest in order to get well again. Something important to mention is that helping verbs can sometimes also work as a normal verb, as long as they are not in the same sentence as a main verb. Like in this example. Jag behöver mat. I need food. Here the verb need is just a normal verb. But if I write it together with another verb, like in this example, then it becomes a helping verb. Jag behöver köpa mat. I need to buy food. Like you can see here, the verb behöver is the helping verb and köpa is the main verb. Let's now talk about second helping verb, måste. Kind of similar in meaning to the previous one, but not 100% the same.
Same, but different.
Måste is how we say must, of course. And there's kind of a little difference between must and need. Jag behöver kissa. I need to pee. Or jag måste kissa. I must pee. It feels even more urgent. Another example of the helping verb måste. Something Swedes will think to themselves. Jag måste städa innan gästerna kommer. I need to clean before the guests arrive. And for information, the reason why Swedes are not spontaneous enough to invite you over to their house is because they feel that they måste clean their house before you arrive. And måste is actually an interesting verb because it doesn't really exist in the past, because you can't must something in the past. However, if you kind of want to say something like that in the past, then you need to change the verb, and that would be instead the verb behövde, needed. Moving on to our third helping verb for today, and that is the verb brukar, which can kind of be translated to usually. So like you can see here, brukar is a verb in Swedish, but not really in English. That's why it can be a little bit tricky to translate brukar into English. But it's kind of similar to the English word usually, since the verb brukar describes a habit. Like in this example. Jag brukar dricka kaffe på morgonen. I usually drink coffee in the morning. Let's look at more examples. Brukar du likea mina videos? Do you usually like my videos? I hope so. If you don't, do it now. Tack så mycket. And the past of brukar would be brukade. Like you can see in this example. Hon brukade gå till gymmet, men nu hinner hon inte. She used to go to the gym, but now she doesn't have time for it. And talking about not having enough time to do something, we have now come to our last helping verb for today. Hinner. To have enough time to do something. And if you put inte together with hinner, then it means the negative, to not have time to do something. Hinner is also a little bit tricky to translate directly to English, since in English you don't have a special verb for this thing. You need to have a whole sentence to describe it. In Swedish, we just say hinner, but in English it would be to make it or to have time to do something. Maybe it makes more sense in a sentence. Jag hinner till bussen. I will make it to the bus. Or I will have enough time to be able to take this bus. Like you can see, it's kind of easier in Swedish. You just need a verb, hinner, to describe this whole thing. Like we mentioned, you very often hear this helping verb hinner in its negative way. And that would be hinner inte. For example, jag hinner inte jobba idag. Jag måste fika. I don't have time to work today. I need to fika. Something Swedish people think very often. Hinner is also used a lot in the past, and that would be han, like in this example. Fan, jag hann inte ta tåget. Damn it, I missed the train. Or, jag har inte hunnit städa idag. I haven't had time to clean today. Now we have come to the end. Let's practice all these helping verbs together in a little Swedish story. Tack för alla era likes. Jag behöver ha dem. Och att ni prenumererar på min kanal så att jag kan göra mer videos till er. Jag vill också att ni ska veta att jag brukar läsa era kommentarer när jag hinner. De gör mig glada. Tack så jättemycket. Nu måste jag gå. If you want to know more about helping verbs and practice them together with me, then you can take one of our beginner courses. You can find more about our courses and how to sign up on our webpage. Check it out here. Hej då!